Yeah, you know what I wish, but I wish it with love. Cause there's hate in my heart for the ones up above. Our lives won't live the same. Is the hate in your heart for the
Bell's palsy, bilateral. Whether you have just unilateral or bilateral Bell's palsy, I hope this helps you. I am on day 178 on this side, which is basically recovered. This side I'm on day 78, and it's still paralyzed. Not really anything to talk about happening on that side yet. I try not to compare the two sides. This side, when it occurred, had a strong side to help it, and I think it came along a little quicker. And this side, it doesn't have that advantage. This side was still trying to heal when this side went out. So it's been quite a trial. Even when I got the movement going in this side of the face, I had to get the muscles built up again. You could tell they had atrophied somewhat over the 2 months. It was actually about 2.5 months when finally the mouth could go up and stuff. It only took 18 days for the brow to raise and the forehead to wrinkle. But this side, nope, nada, nothing. And I'm just being patient. I'm trying not to compare the two sides, and I think also when you have Bell's, it's great to hear other people's stories, but don't ever like go, oh my gosh, on day 18 they were smiling and, you know, normal, and don't do that, because the degree of inflammation and a whole lot of other factors are involved in this occurring. Check with your doctor always. It's critical that you have this evaluated by the doctor. Make a decision with them whether or not you should try to do steroids or you should do antivirals. I refuse to do steroids. Just way too many adverse effects, and from what I had heard, it didn't make a significant change in how long it took to heal. And so I went for antivirals. I had a cold sore here when this side went out. I got a cold sore here when this side went out. So it's pretty much a no-brainer what was causing that. So I was under a lot of stress, and what I didn't know at the time, and I didn't learn until I went to the ER for the second side, I had diabetes and high blood pressure, and I was obese on the BMI scale. So all this was just news to me. I was too busy doing life and being incredibly overstressed in the last 3 years, or now 4 years. The amount of stress in my life has just been off the charts. You couldn't even measure it. And it led me down the path of gaining weight and having high blood pressure and having diabetes. And then when this occurred, probably a couple of months into it, I could tell I was depressed and anxious. I had quit work. I was just trying to heal. I was trying to lose weight. I was trying to get my blood pressure and my blood sugar under control, and trying to absorb the fact that I had all these different things going on. And I'd always been an unbelievably healthy horse. Like, I had never had to think about this kind of stuff, and it really shocked me awake. And they say this kind of thing is an obstacle in your path, but I really believe that saying, that the obstacles are the path. And this led me into, since this summer, I've lost 35 pounds. My blood pressure is now in the 1-teens over 60s or 70s. My blood sugar is, after eating and stuff, around 139. Not bad, after eating. But I've got 15 more pounds to go to the ideal BMI, and I do believe at that point that the blood sugar will be under control, and hopefully I'll be in remission for hypertension and diabetes. My body is incredibly fit and happy right now, so that part is great. You just have to be really patient with the Bell's palsy. It's so individual. And this side of the face recovered in a certain way, where it started at the brow, and then it was the nasolabial fold here, being able to flare your nostril. And then this corner of the mouth took forever to start going up. And I waited to see my teeth when I smiled, and it was so depressing. I hadn't seen my teeth since June. And now when I smile, finally these muscles, there's there's 2 muscles down here and muscles across here. And they were so tight that if I massaged them, they would contract like a rubber band. I mean, it was terrible. This was the hardest part for me. But finally, after a lot of massaging over days and weeks and months, they got loose enough that now when I smile, if I pull this side up with my finger, I can see my teeth. So that to me was like just one of those signs that it made my several months, you know. It was the greatest thing to happen. This side, there's not a lot going on, but I can feel under the cheekbone that when I smile, I can feel that muscle move. It just doesn't register on the surface. And it's the same here in the brow. When you have to retrain your brain. You know, I have to go, no brain, we're going to do the right brow, not the left. So I'll actually hold this one down while I'm trying to move the other one up. Now I can move this part right here, but I can't seem to get the brow to go up. So, you know, and if I want to smile on this side, I have to kind of stop this side from smiling. And I have to do a lot of things with the lips to try to get, you're supposed to try to pucker your lips, which I have to force it. You can see my frenulum slants because the muscles here get very tight and these are very lax. I try to do the vowel sounds, A, E, I, O, U, you know, and over accentuate them. A, E, I, O, U. It's, you know, it's goofy. There's a lot of great videos on YouTube. I suggest that you watch them. And when it comes to exercising, some of them are quite exceptional. I found the ones that came from the hospitals in England were the best. I could actually really feel things happening when I did their exercises. I will put their link down below. Just try not to compare to other people. One of the things I had to do when I had to give up work and just slow down and focus on my health and everything and absorb all of these new diagnoses was to actually relent and say to the doctor, I need Zoloft. I need something to help me, because normally I can cope with life. I'm very intellectual. I'm cognitively strong. I know my techniques, behavioral, techniques to keep yourself in line, and I use logic. But when you have a lot of stressors happening and your spirit gets kind of broken, it's just too much. You need to reset, and I needed a reset. I was barely sleeping at all. I would wake constantly all night long. I got on the Zoloft and I immediately slept 8 solid hours like I'm hibernating. Every night I go to bed at 10. 6 o'clock, I'm up. I'm watching the sunrise. It's beautiful. But that 8 solid hours of sleep, that helped my weight loss. That helped my well-being. It helped my healing. It's so critical. And it's not like I got rid of my anxiety. I still have the same problems I had before. I have even more now that I haven't been working. It's just that I can look at them now and I don't become them. They don't overtake me. I can kind of objectively stand back and look at them like an observer. Yeah, I know you're there, but I'm not going to jump and run. And that really, I needed that. I needed that not jump and run, because my thoughts used to make me jump and run. You know, that fight or flight thing. Got to do something, anything. So that calmed that down. And when it comes to depression, people always assume that if you're depressed, you're sitting around crying. Yeah, that can happen. But really, you can tell you're depressed when things that you normally like to do, they don't sound good. And future doesn't look very good. And people ask you out and you're like making excuses. I think I can't. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, that's a sign. So be kind to yourself. And if you need something during this time, because this is situational stress, even if intellectually in 3 to 6 months, maybe even a year, it'll be over. Every day when you go to talk to somebody or meet somebody, or you want to do something, even drinking a cup, drinking from a cup, it's dribbling. At night you have to patch your eyes out, you're using eye drops all day long, you're looking for any signs of life in your muscles. It gets really depressing. It does. So just watch for those signs and talk to your doctor. Just have a really good conversation, because also whatever caused this, there may be something really big going on, like diabetes, which is an inflammatory process, or you may be having an outbreak of a virus you didn't know you had, or you have an autoimmune disease you didn't know you had, and some of them can be very life-threatening. So I can't impress enough that you have good open dialogue with your doctor, and your doctor wants to take labs. So I hope this helps. I will continue to show you my progress as I move along. My goal as far as the weight loss is, once I'm at the healthy weight, we'll observe my blood glucose and my blood pressure, and hopefully I'll be in remission and be able to get off of those. And this is definitely a lifestyle I can continue. This is really easy for me now that I figured out what works for me. And I can't impress enough that it's going to be different for everybody, but my main thing was I was not going to do I wasn't going to go keto or something and expect to just quickly drop a lot of weight and a lot of water weight and then just suddenly, eat carbs and puff up again. I wasn't going to do that. It had to be something I could do forever. So I looked at the French and the Italians and I said, how are they eating? What are they doing? They're eating yummy foods, really, really high quality foods, which is what I like. I like a good, fine cheese. I like fresh produce. I grow my own vegetables. So I looked at the way they ate, and I ended up getting rid of all the no more dinner plates. I have 8-inch dessert plates, and that's what I eat on. And I must put my timer on to be sure that I take at least 20 minutes to eat the meal. And the meal is smaller because it only fits on the dessert plate. And I put down less than I think I should have. And if I need to, I'll go get another scoop. But if you take 20 minutes, there's this miraculous thing that happens. You could eat a cookie over 20 minutes and you feel full. Your stomach won't register that you've been eating until then. And I'll just take you back to high school or college. The first time you ever had a shot of vodka or tequila or whatever. You're like, oh, that was good. I could do another one. Well, it hasn't registered yet that you just drank, 70 or 80 proof something. And so you drink more. And then it hits you later. And it's like that with eating. You just have to eat really slowly so that your body knows, oh, okay, we've had food. I'm happy. So that's just my key. And it's really freaking simple. I just eat the foods that the French and the Italians eat, basically. Whatever I feel like having. But I just, I always consider sugar. So I do limit, even with whole grains, I limit to just 2 slices a day. That's all I'll have, max. And a lot of times I'll just do an open-faced sandwich and just say, okay, I had 1 bread today. And that's my evil food, I guess. The one that I decided had enough sugar in it that I should just, and starches, your body turns starches into glucose. So, potatoes, rice, bread. But I'm not going to make them the enemy. I'm going to eat a healthy, balanced diet, and that's going to include grains. I'm just not going to be eating a hamburger bun, and then tonight a hot dog bun, and then toast for breakfast. That's not your food content. Bread is not your food content. It's just your vessel to move things along. So anyways, that's my attitude. This is where I am, and I am going to be keeping everybody updated. When I hit my goal weight, besides the fact that I expect to be off the medicines and expect to be healing here, as soon as the face is healed, I plan to do a bikini shoot, and it's just a personal goal. I just went, you know what? I think at this point, if I've gotten through this and I've done all these changes, that I can do anything. And to be my age and to model a bikini again, last time I did, I think I was in 19 or 20. That says a lot. It says, you know what, Sharon, you could do anything. And I still think of this as the weirdest blessing, but it saved my life that I had bells.